welcome to the show. Looks like an early takeoff there. I had to pause it back and get back on the runway.
Well, it's just such a big crowd out there. It gets you nervous looking at all these
you know,
folks.
and every time you get an opportunity to be around Trip Walton,
well,
you get eagerly excited, you get overjoyed.
Start shaking.
That's me. You know what I'm saying? So welcome to the Trip Walton Law Show. Trip Walton.
I thought this was
first,
a Kevin
second,
Dunn
third,
show.
fourth.
Everybody always says, I saw you on Kevin's show. I said, I thought it was my show. They said, no, I thought it was Kevin's show. I said, okay, it's Kevin's show.
It's kind of back and forth. It's kind of like you call weddings, funerals, weddings,
right.
radio, TV, radio. So
right.
When they talk to me, it's your show.
So you get the same thing I get.
I got you. But it's a pleasure always to sit down and talk with you, man.
It's good to be here. Good to be here.
And it's been a while.
It has. Take a little break.
How long has it been? You don't know. It's been a very good year.
Yeah.
You don't know. But anyway, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Well, and we're into March already, so springtime starts today or tomorrow.
All right. Did you spring I know it's a good time to be asking you, but did you spring your clock forward?
I did spring my clock forward, but it was during spring break, so I wasn't doing anything, so I didn't even notice it.
Speaking of that, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, I'm froze.
Speaking of that, Alabama is trying to pass a law. It may be going to the Senate where the time change does not occur. They want to just keep
it on daylight savings
time all the time.
Just not going to follow the national trend.
Right.
We're just going to have our own clock.
Exactly, and I think 4 or 5 states have already done that.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they talk about childhood obesity, finances, income. A lot of this affects a lot of different things. I don't know how true that is.
The more sunshine you have, the less you eat.
The more sunshine.
So like I was fasting. I was on a 24-hour fast yesterday, and people were eating donuts and stuff like that. And I said, I've got another 8 hours, and then I can dig in. Yeah.
Okay.
Sunshine helped me though.
I never thought about that. Sunshine.
Yeah, sunshine.
And a big old Baru. That's another song. I don't know who sung that, but anyway. So you've been doing good.
As far as I know.
All right.
Got a little Parkinson's going. One day we'll do a show on Parkinson's.
Okay. All right.
So my hand shakes a little bit, but other than that, and having to deal with a wife and 3 children, everything else is cool.
You say having to deal with a wife and 3 children, life is but a dream. Married to married. Row your boat. Is that?
That's
no,
right.
I'm missing all around today with the songs and stuff. But you said dealing with your wife and children. You say that as that's pleasant though, right?
Oh yeah, it's pleasant. We just finished up another spring break. I flew them down to Orlando. As long as I didn't have to go back to Disney World or Universal, I said, wherever you want to go, go. So they went down to Orlando went for the national cheerleading competition that my 12-year-old was in. And we didn't do too good. I think we were number 7th out of about 10. So
about 10.
That wasn't too good. Last year we came in, I think, in the top 2. But there was some great competition, they tell me. So they went to cheerleading stuff for a couple of days, and then they went over to Disney World, and then they went over to Universal.
Okay.
So I had the house to myself for 8 days.
So you had peace in the valley?
Peace in the valley, except for taking care of 4 cats and 2 dogs.
Now,
cats everywhere.
Cats everywhere.
God almighty.
You prefer humans or cats? Take care of humans or cats?
I take care of just cats and dogs.
And the cats in the cradle and the silver boy, little boy blue.
There you go.
All right, there's another one. Anyway, we need to do another show
need to
talking
do a
on
show
songs.
Yeah.
Just some 80s songs.
That's right. Or 70s.
70s, okay. Speaking of Orlando, man, I mean, they can wear you out. Disney World, Universal, and all those places,
I've
man, they can wear you out.
I've been to Disney World one time, and I've been to Universal one time, and that's all I need. I don't need. I remember every bit of it.
Okay, you do. Never want to go back.
And never want to go back. They just, too many people for me. I don't like large crowds.
Right,
I don't go to big ball games.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to be where somebody would be tempted to hose everybody down with a machine gun. I don't put myself in those. Just won't go there.
Okay. And so that's what'll happen if something goes off.
Something goes off. It's there. How about the bombings going on out in Texas? That's crazy. Out in Austin and now in Arlington.
I saw that last night.
Terrible.
Which brings me to some other conversations. Just recently, the devastation that happened in Parkland, Florida.
Horrible.
Gun control. Everybody's kind of like wigging out, just trying to find a solution or some kind of common ground, which I don't think is out there.
I don't think there's common ground out there either.
Okay.
You're either one way or the other.
One way or the other.
Except me. I walk the fence.
You walk the fence?
Yeah. I've got some nice hardware. that I have, but I don't know that I really need it. So would I want to give it up? No. But do I need it? No.
No.
So I don't think anybody else ought to have it. It ought to all be mine.
All be yours. Because you keep it in
I'll
context.
keep it safe, keep it locked up. Until I'm attacked, I won't use it.
Okay. Do you ever get a chance to go out in any ranges or anything?
Yeah, I used to, but it's been so long. When I opened my gun safe the other day, I got 2 safes full of guns, and I opened it up and I said, you know, whose world is this? Because I hadn't even been hunting in probably 15, 20 years. When I did all that growing up in the country, in Lafayette, in Chambers County, and then when I got to work, I started work late. I waited till I was about 27, 28 years old before, got my law degree and got my first job, real job. And then I decided all that had to go, so I just devoted everything to work.
Okay.
So now I don't have any hobbies. I don't
All work
hunt, I
and
don't
no play.
fish, I don't play golf, I don't do anything but work or play at work.
You have to do something to relax.
Well, I had a heart test the other day, and
Okay.
I was on the treadmill, and they had checking my blood pressure, and it was lower than it ever is in the office. They said, "How do you explain that?" I said, "I enjoy working out, so I relax when I work out, and I work out." Now that I have Parkinson's, I have an excuse to work out all the time.
Okay.
Drop some weight and do weightlifting, cardio. Yeah, you name it, I do it. I mean, I've got a massive gym at home, and I belong to 2 other gyms, so it keeps me busy working out.
Well, maybe me and Carrie can come work out with you one day.
Come on. Come on.
And make that happen.
I can make it happen.
You can make it happen.
I
Okay.
can be your trainer, your nutritionist, all that.
Okay. Your wife can take care of that, right?
My wife could care less. If she works out, nutrition, unless it comes in a bottle, ain't her thing.
Ain't her thing. Okay. I thought she was physically fit and all that.
Oh,
good
she's
stuff.
physically fit. She just eats whatever she. She only eats. She's always just fasting because she only eats 1 meal a day. She eats lunch.
Okay.
So she eats every other, lunch every day. So she's got a 24-hour fast going every day,
And
which really boosts your growth hormone by women 1,300%, men 2,000%. And people pay thousands of dollars for growth hormone, but fasting gets it the natural way. You just don't eat.
Just don't eat. Just
You don't eat.
just
You
drink
can
a lot of
drink
water.
coffee. You can drink water. You can drink water with stuff in it, lemon, lime. I wouldn't recommend any fake sweeteners because they'll kill you outright. Sugar's better than that, but I use stevia, which doesn't jack your insulin up.
Right.
And so, but we'll do a health show one day.
Yeah.
I mean,
You gonna invite her? Or
Yeah.
you gonna keep her at
No,
home?
she'll have to stay at home.
Okay.
She'll be on
Tell
the
her-
tennis.
tell her-
She'll be on the tennis court. She
Okay.
makes so much money playing amateur tennis.
Okay. All right.
Are you kidding me?
Okay. She needs to show me how to do that.
All
Maybe I
we
can
do
play
is
some
spend
amateur
money
golf.
on it.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to shift gears right here because I don't want to take you down that road. because-
No, let's don't go down. I might need a lawyer myself.
You might need a lawyer yourself.
Quickly.
Phew! Quickly.
Spring break, here we come again.
Exactly. Before we get into the your law practice and what you do, because several new people join us every time we do the show and they need to know what you do. But before we get into the Walton Law Firm, I know you don't really follow. Well, I know you follow football, but we're in March Madness right
Woo,
now.
if I see another basketball game this week, I'm going to throw up. I watch basketball from Friday at noon until Sunday night at about 10 o'clock. I saw a lot of good and a lot of bad basketball, not to mention Alabama and Auburn.
Dum, bum, bum.
Lord have mercy. Let's go to the dance and just flunk out.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, that was horrible.
It was horrible. Okay. All right. So
But anyway.
you don't have no favorite team that you're.
I'm picking, I think that the Final Four would be Villanova, Duke, Purdue, and I'm leaving one open for, let's go ahead and say it, Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. No Kentucky.
No, Kentucky.
No Kentucky.
No, not Kentucky, not this
Okay.
year. They just,
All right.
they've looked a lot better. They've gotten better. They're
they're
peaking at the
at the
right
right time.
time because
Yeah.
they were,
They were
terrible
horrible.
in the first of the
Exactly.
year. Which was shocking. It's the first time I've seen that in a long time. But they've caught on.
Yeah.
And they've got some talent.
Yeah.
And they do it all. So they would be either them or A&M. I want one
A&M,
SEC
okay.
team in the Final Four, and A&M or Kentucky won.
All right. Well, there you have it. The Final Four.
My Auburn team and my Alabama team are not going to be there.
Yeah, they have to have the remote control in their hands.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
watch
They
it
might
at the-
want to watch a movie.
something. Because it was not a very good. Well, sort of. But
They had
not
a
the
fun. It
end.
was a great year to watch, and
Right.
Auburn had a great year until the end. It was like all the gas ran out. Plus, they lost players, so that's a problem.
And probably going to lose more players, but that's another story.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's right.
But anyway, the Walton Law Firm, and tell us your location. You have 5 no. You
Thank God we don't have 5.
How many locations you have?
Our primary location is in Auburn, Alabama,
Okay.
On Catherine Court, and we have an office in Montgomery, Alabama, because I live in Montgomery and in Auburn. So we have offices both places where I live. We do personal injury, wrongful death, brain injuries, broken legs, broken necks, that kind of stuff. Primarily resulting from car wrecks and or truck wrecks and or truck-on-truck wrecks. We also do criminal work in the state of Alabama only because it requires a lot of court appearances, and we just can't make it all around the country like we do on the civil cases. But that's what we do. We have I have 3 attorneys other than myself, all 3 females. So they're not out playing golf, and they don't sew anymore, so they just work.
Okay, they don't get their hair done, anything?
Well, every now and then I'm shocked. I'll go in one of them's office and say, "Where's so-and-so in court?" And I said, "No, she's just a beauty parlor."
Okay.
I said, "What?" At the beauty parlor in the middle of the day. I said, "Is that good while they're at work?" They said, "Well, my hair grows while I'm at work, so I get it cut while I'm at work." I said, "Okay."
Okay.
What can you say? I mean, they run the show. I'm not going to complain. In fact, one of them stopped me on the way out the door. She just settled $600,000 worth of cases in the last 3 days, so she just wanted to let me know. I said, "Well, I appreciate it."
$600,000 in the last 3 days.
Yeah. Of course, she'd been working on them for 6, 7, 8, 10 months, but she just got them all culminated in the last 2 or 3 days.
I'm pretty sure that's a good feeling. Isn't it?
It was good. It was good. Good for her. Good for me. Sometimes I wonder because we had a mediation. The highest they got in Birmingham this week was $25,000 on a terrible broken ankle case, $69,000 in medical expenses, and their highest offer was $25,000. So we're going to trial on that in a couple of months. Got another one we're mediating Friday. Broken part of the neck, back part of the neck, didn't have surgery, so they're Allstate stopped at $15,000. We think it's worth 50 plus, but we'll see. We're going to mediate that one this Friday. So, and last year we've got the numbers here in front of us. We had in 2017 we had 224 total new cases, which is good. 81 of those were criminal cases, and all those criminal cases would be in the state of Alabama. And we've probably signed in 2018 already this year probably 10 or 15, maybe 20 criminal cases. We of those 224, we rejected outright 23, which means they didn't fit our model. They either didn't have fault, or they didn't have enough damages, or there was a problem with them. 19 of those settled already for 2017. And I thought it was interesting the counties they come from. From Lee County, we had 95 cases.
Okay.
Chambers County, 45. Montgomery County, 10. Madison 1, Macon 4, Elmore 6, Tallapoosa 2, and it spreads across the rest of the state. And then from out of state, we had 33 cases. 14 were in Georgia that weren't from Troup County. 9 were from Troup. Then we had 1 from Arizona, 3 from Florida, 1 from Kentucky. We're still litigating up in federal court in Kentucky. 1 in Tennessee, 1 in Chicago, 1 in California, and 1 in wherever LA is. I don't know what that is. Louisiana. Yeah, we had a death case over, tractor trailer death case, where a guy ran his truck up in the trees and lit it, caught his truck on fire, and we represented a lady that was in the sleeper berth, his girlfriend, and he let her burn to death. He got out and didn't take her with him. So we sued him. Won't do more than that to him.
Did he make a statement? I mean, we probably can understand why he.
He was not the kind of guy that you like.
Okay.
Yeah. He was not a good guy.
And probably had plenty of time to maybe do something about it.
Well, we think he did, and apparently the company he worked for thought he did too, because we got that resolved quickly.
Okay.
But that's when we had in Louisiana. We had 2 or 3 people from Louisiana contact us last year about death cases, but we only signed that one.
Okay. Now, those are a lot of cases. Like you said, it was a very good year in 2017, 224 total new clients. Now, the Arizonas, Floridas, Kentuckys, Tennessees, and places like that, are those mainly referrals from friends, or are people just searching on the internet? How do you find out these people?
Usually, those are people from Alabama in our area, from Troup County down to Columbus, over to, say, Montgomery, and up through Tallapoosa County, that live here and were involved in a wreck or death case out there.
Out there.
So we would first of all contact local council out there, make sure they're qualified to work with us and get us qualified to work out there, and then we would hook it up and go.
Okay.
So, like the one in California is a crosswalk death case where our family member from here had a loved one who was run over and killed in a crosswalk in California. So we hired a California law firm to work with us on that case. Same with the one in Kentucky in federal court is a truck-on-truck case. That's coming up for trial pretty soon. We've had one offer on that case. We went back with, I think, $1 million something counter offer. And so that was pending in federal court. A couple of my lawyers flew up to Chicago to take depositions in that, so we're very active in that case. Some of them we're real active in, some of them we aren't.
Okay.
The one in Arizona was a car wreck case. The people lived here or moved here, and then we just got it settled pretty quickly. But it just depends on the facts and circumstances.
And it's amazing how so many things that you shared, being on the show, and I go back to one of the things you said with the crosswalk. And anytime you're hit, you need to be at a certain area.
You need to be in a crosswalk.
Need to be in a crosswalk.
And another thing, even though you got a crosswalk and you feel it's safe, get off your phone. I mean, more people are hitting crosswalks not paying attention, which they've got the right. The right of way is theirs, but I mean, why get run over?
Right.
It's not fun.
Right.
And we've had some major serious injuries in and about and around the city of Auburn and Opelika from crosswalks. One thing we're going to see disappear. We probably signed 2 to 5 rear-end collisions a month, every month. When in another 3 to 4 years, every car on the road that's sold will have automatic sensor brakes. Those cases will be gone. No more neck broke from behind. That's going to save a lot of lives and a lot of hurt and a lot of pain and suffering. It's also going to put a lot of lawyers out of business if they don't have sense enough to change what they're doing. Yeah. So we're having a meeting next week to look at what we want to do over the next 10 years. Like we met, I would say, 8 years ago, and we saw the trends that everybody would be hiring their professionals from their telephone device. By 2016, nobody in the world that hires a lawyer, doctor, dentist, whatever, would ever go from anything other than a handheld device. So we put everything headed toward that way. So we were one of the first law firms that had the websites, mobile sites on the phones, all that kind of stuff. Apps, have our own app, stuff like that. So you just have to stay on top of the wave, because if the wave hits the beach and you didn't get off it, it's awful.
Wow.
So we're even thinking about other areas we can go into, like elder law, bring in maybe a domestic lawyer. We've already expanded our criminal work. I hired a young lady who was chief deputy DA in Lee County for years, who was a superstar in the criminal field. So we got to stay on top of the water.
Stay on top of the water. Okay. Now, Tripp, I don't know if you noticed this or not, and we may have talked about this on the show a year ago, but I'm finding more and more of this, and I see people crossing highways, four lanes, and walking in the parking lots, just walking, and not necessarily on a cell phone or anything, and they're just not paying attention, and it's just, why would you walk? What are you finding out? Why are people doing this? I mean, they're walking straight across, not looking to the left or the right, just walking.
Well, I hate to say it, but the simple term is they're just ignorant.
Okay.
They don't understand somebody's going to run over them. They don't understand that they really don't have the right of way. I mean, if they do legally, they're not going to win the battle when somebody's paying and looking at their phone or looking at their eyebrows or, whatever they're doing in the car that distracts them, and they run over them. So it's crazy. I mean, we have tons of folks that are run over in parking lots, backed over in parking lots. I mean, you got to be alert. You got to be like, you got the ball and you're in an NFL game, you got to get moving, because those linebackers are going to rip your head off. So you're right. People just wander around aimlessly like it's nobody's business, and they own the street, and when they get run over, it's terrible.
And it seems like in this day and time, with technology, we should be more in tune, because of the people who are driving are not in tune.
Well, that's true.
Because of the distractions.
And thank goodness the cars are picking up on people around too. They got beepers and all that kind of stuff too. So a lot of the stuff we see now that are standard personal injury cases involving cars and trucks will be gone.
That too.
That too. It'll be. You'll have sensors on your cars that'll pick up people. It'll beep. Like, you know, some of them now, if you get too close, it'll beep. Right. It depends on how fancy your car is now, but sooner or later, it'll be on every car. And then you give 8, 10, maybe 10 years to get all those in place. All the old cars will be off the market. Then, you know, we'll have products liability cases where the brake system didn't work, or where the car cranked itself and drove off and killed 13 people down the street, you know. So we'll have those kind of cases, but those will be huge. Although there'll be probably huge money you got to spend, you know, $150,000 to $500,000 on an airbag case now. You know, I have people come in all the time and say, my airbag didn't work. And I say, well, let me think. You weren't hurt? Well, I'm sore. I said, well, an airbag case, the last one we worked on cost $550,000. You're not sore enough. I need you, you know, non-compass. I mean, so people don't understand the cost of litigation. It's really a simple car wreck will cost my law firm anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 before we ever get to the courtroom. So let's say the case is worth $15,000 and you got to spend $10,000 to $15,000 to get it ready. That doesn't make sense. Let's say you got a brain injury case where the defendant has $100,000 in insurance, and it's going to cost you $250,000 to put the case on. It doesn't make sense. So sometimes the reason we have rejections are the risk, the cost far outweighs the benefit, and you just can't stay in business if you don't understand that.
And going back to what you just said too, you know, we're headed into a society where they're trying to really get it where cars can drive themselves.
Yeah, that's going to be, I just
what do
can't
you think about that?
I sort of don't like that because I'm a good driver. But now, quite frankly, my 24-year-old, he needs a driver. He needs an automatic car. He can just stay on asleep in it, just ride around town, doing nothing like what he does. Let's get on Tripp's family today. I hope that the Walton family will not be looking at this tape, please. Our domestic lawyers, go ahead and give me a call.
Give them a call. Wow. And what's scary about that, because I've been told anything that's man-made is subject to fault.
That's right. So there'll be a whole new line of products liability cases, but the law firms that handle those are your mega $1 million firms.
Okay.
You know, when we get one of those, and we do single car, you know, the one big thing that's missed out here in the country where we're from is somebody has a single car wreck, they just let the people pick up the car, let State Farm take it off and crush it, it's gone. Well, then they come in to see me and I said, well, they say the seatbelt didn't work. So, well, there's a seatbelt case worth $1 million. You got to have the car. Oh, the car's crushed, the car's gone. So you have your crash-worthiness cases. Did this happen? Did that happen? Why was the person killed? You're not supposed to get killed in a car wreck. Cars are supposed to be built to do certain things. So anyway, those kind of cases go by the wayside a lot of times. Families just don't understand it. And they're not interested in that because they just lost a loved one. So they're more interested in the funeral and how they're going to cope.
Right.
So that's just an issue that people don't know about.
And I don't even understand why we would have these cars that drive themselves, because, you know, you have these airbags, you have these gas tanks blowing up, you have all these other problems that happen.
There will be major problems. There's no doubt about it.
So, I mean, you're going to be able to sue the automaker? Or
somebody told me just today that one of the cars that drives themselves ran over a pedestrian because they were walking in an area across the street that was not a crosswalk, so it didn't even slow up because it doesn't pick up anything except the crosswalk. So it would have gone to the crosswalk, apparently slowed down and stopped and beep, then go. But this person was crossing way back here, not on the crosswalk, run over. So they had to go back to the drawing board on that. And that just had a call this morning about that. I think it was in Florida.
Was it a fatality?
Yeah, well.
People losing lives over stuff like that.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
It's tough. So they're going to go through a lot of those problems.
Okay. Now, Tripp, out of all the cases that you Well, yeah, you practice law, right? Just like
Yeah, well,
practice
yeah.
law. But you're good at what you do, huh?
Yeah, so far, so good.
So far, so good.
I'm a super lawyer. Whatever
gotcha,
that,
gotcha.
$1.50 will get you a cup of coffee.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Sounds good. Are there any particular cases? Well, I know there are some that you may prefer than others, but can we necessarily say there are some cases that you like more so than others?
You know, your run-of-the-mill car wrecks, of course, are boring. I've done 7 million of them.
Okay.
The cases I still like to be involved on a regular basis are the tractor-trailer cases, because I've become somewhat of an expert in federal motor carrier safety regulations and Alabama codes and the Georgia codes. And I've lectured all over the country to different lawyers and different groups. So I enjoy that.
Okay.
And my staff, my girl lawyers that handle them like it too. We just enjoy the tractor-trailer business. And it's amazing, and I've said this 100 times, we have more and more clients who are tractor-trailer drivers because the roads are so crowded, it's tractor on tractor rather than the cars. Of course, these knuckleheads driving the passenger cars, zipping in and out, they're going to be getting hurt. But you know, you think of the tractor-trailer driver as sort of up above that, but we see a lot of injuries of tractor-trailer drivers.
Now, speaking of tractor-trailer drivers, did you hear that they're trying to create highways just specifically for tractor-trailers
You
for
know,
them to travel
out
on?
west, and I believe in California, they have lanes where it's nothing but tractor-trailers.
Okay.
You know, if they do that, I don't know how they're going to build them around here because it would take forever.
Right.
But the safety features that they're going to have on tractor-trailers as we go through, like I say, the next 4 or 5 years, the automatic warnings, beepers going off, all that kind of stuff, cameras on the sides of them, so nobody, you know, they should be so much safer, and it's really going to help.
Okay, all right. And one last question before we end the show. We're just about out of time. Tell people why they should have a fighter in their corner. Yeah, if you want a fighter, you know how it
Because
goes.
we don't start the fight, we finish it.
They don't start the fight, they finish it.
That's right.
Well,
And we're good at what we do.
good at what you do.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, we feel like we are. We go on the website at www.waltonlaw.net. That's www.waltonlaw.net. And we fixed to release a new website, in fact. I had my people call those people today and say, where is it, since it's supposed to be done? I need to do a shout out to Eddie Adams, who did us a video clip. He's one of our tractor-trailer local experts and clients. O.C. Hargett, I need to say hey to her. And I need to give a shout out to Jerome Bailey and the Boys and Girls Club for Chambers County. They got a function coming up. They need some money. Give them a hand, call them up, give them a donation, $25 or $2,500. Just help them out, please.
All right. Well, we thank you for joining us here on the Trip Walton Law Show.
Kevin Dunn Show.
No, it's the Trip Walton Law Show. The Waltons.
Depends on who you ask.
It depends on who you ask. All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.
Next time.